Hello, everyone. My name is Cordyup707, and today I am going to be reading a collaboration between me and the Yellow Viper called The Apprentice. Things get started pretty quickly. This story will still need to be polished up, and it is still in production, so don't you guys worry. We are still working on it. And this one has also been split up into acts, which is what I'm going to try and do with the end and other things like the Devil of Ed's World and maybe even the Nine Stanzas of the Apocalypse, but I'm not going to go on to that. This collaboration has been very, very, very fun to work with. It's a pleasure to work with a fellow writer that is the Yellow Viper. So I really, really enjoyed working with him. The story gets really, really good. I guess you can do just about anything when you're with somebody, huh? All right. Let's get started, shall we? By the way, possible spoilers for Yellow Viper's story. Anything. Okay. Let's actually get started this already. Hold on. One more thing. Voices are not entirely canon. These are only my own impressions for these characters. Not official, not canon at all, unless Mr. Viper says so. So, here we go. Act 1. The Argument. In Evil Darkness's lair, Evil Darkness is planning his attack on Luminatica, trying to figure out how to destroy Luna. He sighs and lays back. Black Death, bring me the file on Luna. All right, Dad. I don't appreciate your sass, Tyon. I don't appreciate being calling Tyon Hornhead. Now you're just getting on my nerves, and you know what happens when I snap. Well, maybe I want your nerves to snap. Maybe I want you to kick me out of the castle. Maybe it would help. Well, maybe I do, Tyon. You're so annoying, Hornhead. Fine, if you're going to be that way, then maybe you should go and work with Terror instead. See if I care. Fine, I will. Black Death proceeds to walk out, slamming the door behind him. Evil Darkness sighs in frustration, but then realizes his mistake. What did I just do? Black Death pulls the universal pen and notepad from out of his cloak and writes a short sentence. Bring me to Terror in his stronghold. The notebook begins to tremble as it prepares to fulfill Black Death's request. Suddenly, ink bursts from the notebook, the ink swirling around him like a hurricane, spinning, spinning, and spinning. The swirling stops suddenly, and he is surrounded by the huge stone bricks of Terror's stronghold, the cold cutting through him instantly. I think this is the place. Meanwhile, Terror is sitting in his chair in the sitting room, studying a book on DNA structure. Soon enough, he gets bored of the seemingly endless information in the book and slams it shut. He reclines in his chair and sighs. Ugh, nothing is happening. Why hasn't she found something that at least strikes her interest? His gaze wanders to the massive bookshelf on his left, then back to the fireplace. He's bored with books. I want to go somewhere, actually do something for once, he thought. Suddenly, Terror's ears twitch, his muscles tense, and he sits up, looking around himself. Someone has entered the stronghold. Terror growls to himself. At least they came in right when he needed them. Terror gets up out of his chair and looks around in the hallways near him. No one. Terror sniffs the air of the stronghold, and his eyes ripple black and gray. Luminatican blood. Terror growls a little louder than last time. He didn't need to see his face to know who it was. It was the villain wannabe, Black Death. Act 2. Apprenticeship. Terror follows the scent down to the entrance of the stronghold, finding Black Death wandering slowly across the stone floor. Their eyes meet, each with a look that says, "Ugh, not this guy." "Hello. I need to talk with you." "I also need to talk with you. How in the dark did you get here? We are universes apart." Notepad and pen. Simple as that. "As I suspected." I thought that didn't work in other universes. They all have their own set of rules, you know. Well, apparently, it does work. I think I should explain why I'm here, exactly. I had a small argument with Hornhead. He said that I should go to you if I want to be a villain. Terror leans on the wall of the stronghold and laughs heartily. That fool? I will tell you, you have come to the right person, Black Death. But I don't just train anyone, you know. You have to prove yourself first. Then I might let you stay. I had a feeling that may have been the case. How should I prove myself, though? What are the requirements? First off, you will call me either Terror, Your Majesty, or, as some bugs call me, Boss. Others I will consider as mockery. Okay, Boss. I think that Boss will do. Good. Second, you will not go in the laboratory unless told to. I have a great many projects brewing in there, and they must not be disturbed. Got it. The last thing I can think of, you have to take on the darkness, which is the test of everything you've got. All right. Follow me. We shall practice this ritual elsewhere more appropriate for the occasion. Terror leads Black Death down the maze-like hallways to an empty room with nothing but abandoned cobwebs. I know what this room looks like, but when the trial starts, it will look like much more than this. Okay. This place looks awful, by the way, just so you know. Arrogance. Acting like that will get you nowhere here. Realize that this kind of darkness is a living energy. It decides, not I. It may turn you down, and you will feel it if it does. Noted. Terror prepares the energy in his claws. Best of luck, Tyon. Terror thrusts his claws into Black Death, turning the room into a black void-like space. Terror is nowhere in sight, and it seems that Black Death is alone. Well then, this feels great. I am all alone. Who's this? Has the advocate sent us another potential follower? Tyon Luminous here. Yes, I was sent by Terror. Yes, we know who Terror is. And you want to prove yourself to us? Yes, I do. What a decision to make. Arrogance, bold, in the ever-present solitude. Abandoned by your own family, so you seek to kill them as revenge. Childish. He has sent us a child and expects us to make you a part of our ancient cause? What do you have to say for yourself, Tyon? I am more than a child. I have abilities. Abilities mean nothing to us. It's what you do with those abilities that count. We aren't sure if you will treat us correctly. I can assure you I will treat you things correctly. I apologize for the rude gesture. If he is childish, so be it. You will learn, Tile. We will accept you into our arsenal. A black, misty creature forms and approaches Black Death. It holds out a misty, disfigured hand. Black Death reaches out and grasps it. As he does so, the mist creature uses its other arm to cover Black Death's face in a cold, watery substance. He can feel it flowing into his bloodstream, as if renewing an old energy he had never felt before. Black Death opens his eyes and gasps for breath, finding himself back at the stronghold, Terror staring at him in amazement. You did it. You passed. Yeah, I sure did. Do you feel it now? Do you feel it in every corner of your heart and mind? Yes, I do. Oh, my gods. I doubted you there for a second. Terror collects himself for a moment and turns to head out the door. Come with me to the sitting room. There, we can speak of our plans and needs. Okay, sure. Terror once again leads Black Death through the hallways to the sitting room. Terror takes his seat in the purple and red velvet chair. He pats the indigo and black seat next to him, inviting Black Death onto the chair. Black Death leaps into the air and lands on his seat and sighs. He stares at his legs as they split into 8. Terror notices and smirks. So Death's Reaper cursed you within Arachnid's legs, Not a surprise. Why is that not a surprise? Ah, you see, Death is a good friend of mine, and he gave every one of his Reapers a single curse charm on their sights. If someone uses it, they are cursed. Lucky ones only get one side effect. Others that aren't so lucky get the mental treatment. So, I'm lucky then. I can't say for sure. Terror stares into the fireplace as if his mind is elsewhere. You look like you just saw a ghost. What do you mean? I am a ghost. I'm just thinking, I suppose. What you thinking about? Nothing that concerns you. Sorry, just curious. Living here, you will learn that curiosity can kill you, or more accurately, scar you for life. I have been scarred before, but I'm not curious to see what can scar me. So you are smart after all. Now that I think about it, I'm a lot smarter than that evil darkness. Anyone could be smarter than that old buffoon. He'd probably have killed himself already if he was here. The notepad just told me something with its ink. Evil darkness is trying to find this place. He doesn't have a clue. So he really is a fool. Yeah, some of his plans are awful, like tricking the AT team with cake. Yes, I have heard that one before. Terror relaxes, still chuckling to himself. He will never find us. If he does, he'll be wiped off the face of existence by the bugs outside. What an imbecile. Yeah, I would think by this point he would have failed more than 3 times. I killed my universe's death by myself. He failed to kill Luminous. I did that. He envies me. I know that. Oh, please. Let us not boast about our accomplishments and our ways of killing. But if you want to hear mine, I can name a few. Yeah, tell me some. It might help me with some of my methods. Let's see. I created life on my own. That's how I bred the bugs you see crawling about. I also outwitted a genius by making him believe that I followed his every command. And I also defeated a Godzilla or two. Made a fine meal, I'll tell you that. Interesting. Yes, indeed. Terror starts to drool slightly, but then snaps out of his trance and wipes the saliva away. Black Death glares at Terror, but then looks away. It's nothing. I was just daydreaming. I understand. I just don't like saliva, but I will not complain. No, you do not understand. If you do not realize already, I am starving to the end of my wits, with only the darkness to keep me from turning to. Every time I think of such things, I just get lost, I guess. It's a horrible insanity I've gotten into. That makes sense, but also not. Ah, this is where curiosity kills you, my friend. I will say no more of it. Okay, I won't ask, boss. Much appreciated. Terror once again stares into the fireplace. Black Death stares too, but just closes his eyes and rests his mind. You may go to your quarters if you must. I had centipedes get a room ready for you. The fire is warmer there than mine here, and you can rest your mind and body after such a hit the darkness gave you. Yes, I think that would be a good idea, boss. I need to rest. Then go. A moth is waiting for you outside the door. Black Death proceeds to jump off the chair, leaves the room, and he smiles as he leaves. See you soon, boss. Farewell for now, Tyon. You know, I don't mind being called Tyon anymore. Bye for now. Black Death walks out and goes to his quarters. He sits on the floor and lays back. His legs go back to normal and he closes his eyes. He lays still and falls asleep. Meanwhile, why did I do that? I feel like a moron. That's because you are a moron, ED. Well, Void, do you want to see your daughter again? Sorry, Master. That's what I thought. Anywho, how can we find him? May I suggest your vision orb? Oh, yeah. Evil Darkness taps his vision orb and looks for Black Death's soul signature. He finds nothing at all. He searches through other dimensions and finds him. Why am I not surprised? The only place he can get to. Terror's stronghold. How interesting. Meanwhile, Terror is still sitting in the sitting room as he speaks with Swampwater. So, how's bubonic plague holding up? Just fine. Believe it or not, he actually respects me. After his meeting with the darkness, it seems his arrogance has decreased to a minimum. No way. Yes, I have a renewed respect for Black Death. He will make a fine successor. Just wait till he meets Eternal Darkness, boss. Eternal is your own creation, after all. Besides, Black Death may not be able to outlive Eternal either. That's why I'm taking him to the Colosseum tomorrow. The Colosseum? Boss, don't you think that's a little early for that? First I tested his state of mind. Now I shall test his strength. Who will he be facing? First, he will face Experiment 425, and if he holds out, he will face Experiment 232. Experiment 232? You don't mean that, do you? I absolutely do mean that, Swampers. Then do tell me that's the end of it. Well then, if he's still standing after that, he'll face me. What if he defeats you? Terra glares at Swampwater with a steely look in his eyes. The tint of red turns a slight blue, but only enough to notice. He won't. Swampwater shivers, realizing his mistake. Sorry, boss. It's fine, Swampwater. Anything I need to do? Get Black Death an ear device. He's going to need it. Gotcha, boss. I'll see if he's awake. Swampwater slowly eases off the giant chair onto his glassy winged moth below and flies off. Terror decides to rest as well and heads out of the sitting room. He stops at the entrance to the laboratory and lays down to rest. Terror opens his mouth wide to let the maggots out and enters his mind. Act 3. Gladiator. Black Death wakes up on the floor in a cold sweat. Another nightmare. Another nightmare, eh? That's normal around here. Swampwater is sitting on Black Death's bed. He is holding a small device that looks like a small headset. Black Death takes the device from Swampwater. What's this? It's a universal headset. You'll be able to contact Terra and I anywhere in the universe. Huh, cool. Okay, this will be useful. It sure will. By the way, you are to be at the Coliseum when Terra wakes up. I can take you there if you want. That would help. Swampwater hops off the bed and heads out the door with Black Death. You don't ask a lot of questions, do you? Yeah, I don't need to usually. It's a part of my nature. That's good to know. I'll tell you this, though, that Coliseum is no joke. Swampwater hops up onto his glassy winged moth and invites Black Death on as well. He can carry 2 people. Hop on. Okay, give me 2 seconds. I need to get my scythe. That's all right. We can wait. Black Death goes into his quarters and grabs his scythe. Okay, let's go. Swampwater snaps the reins on the moth and it takes off. The walls of the stronghold zoom by as they glide effortlessly by. Soon enough, the moth slows down as they approach Terror, who is sleeping in front of the laboratory with his eyes rolled back into his head. The moth lands a few feet away, not daring to go any further. This is it. May have to wait an hour, or we could be on time. The guarantee is waiting, though. Don't worry, I can wait. Alrighty then. Good luck. Swampwater takes off, leaving Black Death behind with Terror. Black Death's legs split into 8 again. He stares at them and frowns. Why do my legs do this at the strangest times? He stares at Terror and sits on the ground. He just sits and stares. Marveling or waiting? Who said that? Maybe if you turn around you can see me. Black Death turns around. It's a maggot, one of the ones that belongs in Terror's mouths. He is also sitting there, just as Black Death had been doing. He slithers up to Black Death's side and stays there. Why are you so close to me? You got a phobia or something? I just wanted to sit here. Now my question from earlier, were you marveling or waiting? Both. Yup. It is quite a majestic sight in a way. Yeah, I know. He's a lot better to have as a boss, than Evil Darkness. Oh, I've heard of him. The boss was laughing when you mentioned that guy. I'll tell you, I'm happy he didn't make us with eardrums. I think I would be glad about that too. He has a very loud laugh. To be honest, he has a good point of laughing like that. He laughs at a lot of things, mainly other people's stupidity. Yeah, I can tell. Evil Darkness's stupidity is very laughable. Yep. I heard you were going to the Coliseum, by the way. Yeah. I don't know why. I'll have to wait and find out. He's testing you. That's what he's doing. He tests everybody that wants to stay with him. Well, it's a good thing I brought my scythe then. Every gladiator has their weapon. You better be ready. I'm usually ready, but I might not be this time. I'm hoping you are, because the creatures you will meet there are not nice at all. Terra's hands raise up off the ground and clap twice, and all the other bugs start to scurry. Shoot! That's the cutest canoe! See you around! The maggot slithers away hurriedly back to Terra and hops in the middle mouth. As Terra's eyes return to their normal position, he looks at Black Death and smiles. Nice talk with a maggot, I see. Yeah, it was a nice talk. Good. Even the maggots respect you. It's nice to have some respect once in a while. Wouldn't have gotten that if I stayed with Hornhead. Hornhead. Anyway, it's time to head to the Colosseum. Alrighty then. Terra gets up off the ground and scoops up Black Death and carries him in his hands as he walks down the hallways. Once we are outside, don't make a sound. Even though my cloak may keep us concealed, it will not work if you chatter. Okay. Near the stronghold's door, a pitch-black cloak hangs in midair. Terra whips the cloak around himself, making it pitch black, to the point where Black Death can't see anything except the blood-red glow of Terra's piercing eyes. Terror opens the old wooden door of the stronghold cautiously and closes it as he slips through the doorway. With precise expertise, he glides along the shadows, making sure he is not seen by anyone passing the forbidden ground. He makes no sound as he moves. Only slight wisps of wind are heard as he glides by. Soon enough, Terror undons his hood, marveling at the sight of the old, worn-down Colosseum. There it is. Whoa. The shadows of old used to use this to punish those who insulted the king. It is now a part of the Forbidden Ruins. Interesting. Indeed. Now for the task at hand. Terror hastily heads into the Colosseum. What? And sets Black Death down in the middle of the Colosseum. Terror shrinks down to his smallest size and leaps into the king's chair. The first experiment you will face is Experiment 425, a highly intelligent praying mantis with poisonous barbs and fangs. Okay. Are you ready, gladiator? Yes. Release the beast! A steel door to Black Death's left opens, and the black and green praying mantis charges into the arena, hissing. Black Death lunges at the mantis and whips his whip at the mantis's leg. The mantis shrieks and tries to grab Black Death with its poisonous barbed claw. Black Death dodges the claws and slashes the mantis's leg with his scythe. The mantis cripples halfway to the ground, but manages to keep going. The mantis unfolds its wings and starts to hover in the air above Black Death, making up for its bad leg. Black Death leaps into the air and slices one of the mantis's wings. The mantis falls into the ground with a tremendous thud, leaving it grounded. The mantis still tries to reach for Black Death, while Terror is up in the chair, smiling proudly. Now for the finishing blow. Black Death cuts the mantis's head off with his scythe and ties the body up with his whip. Terror laughs and claps in approval. Well done, gladiator. Ready for the next experiment? Yes, boss, I'm ready. This one has gone for years without being defeated. Experiment number 232 is a mashup of a cockroach, centipede, and an earwig, making it burly, quick, and sensitive to movements. Well then, bring it on. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Are you ready, gladiator? I think you know the answer, boss. I only asked that because of tradition, but I do know your answer. Release the beast! Another steel door opens on Black Death's right. A massive bug mashup the massive bug mashup charges into Black Death, blowing him back unexpectedly and hits a wall. Black Death recovers and his legs split into 8. That might help. He crawls up the walls and throws his scythe at the bug's back. The bug only flinches, turning around and charging again. This time, Black Death narrowly missed the hit. He runs on the wall and ties the whip around one of the bug's legs. The bug tries to shake the whip off, clearly not experiencing the whip before. Black Death thrusts the whip towards himself, pulling the bug towards him with it. The bug flips upside down, its legs flailing helplessly as it tries to get back up. Black Death walks towards the bug with the scythe and plunges it into the bug's head. The gargantuan bug squeals its last breath and goes limp. Black Death grins and then starts laughing. That was harder than I expected, but I have to say, that felt great! Quite impressive, Black Death. According to my plans, you have passed the test, but... Terror gets up out of his chair and leaps into the arena, landing with a threatening and powerful boom. He has a determined look in his eyes as he cracks his knuckles. I want to see what you've really got. Show me what you are made of, Tyon. Sure, it might hurt me, but I can prove myself. All right, then. Let the battle begin! Black Death charges at Terror, attempting to slash him with his scythe. Terror slides out of the way, gliding behind him, attempting to grab his hood. Black Death leaps into the air and lands behind Terror. He turns around, moving from side to side, making it harder for Black Death to target him. Black Death slashes side to side, missing on every single slash. He finally gets a small slash on Terror's arm. Terror doesn't even seem to notice as he charges at Black Death with blinding speed. Black Death flies towards the wall, crashing into it. Terror has him backed up against the wall now, ready to strike at any moment. Black Death kicks with one of his 8 legs and leaps towards the sky. Terror follows him up and punches him down to the ground. Black Death lands on his 2 feet and whips at Terror with his whip. Terror starts to sound a little different. "You're a little brave boy, aren't you?" Terror slashes at Black Death, only cutting him in minor places but still doing some damage. Black Death grits his teeth and slashes at Terror, also only cutting him in minor places. Terror starts to circle around Black Death, breathing heavily. Black Death keeps his eyes on Terror, his whip and scythe ready if Terror attacks. Terror, noticing the weapons, phases into the ground. Black Death is confused and lowers his weapons. Suddenly, Terror's claws emerge from the ground and grab Black Death's ankles, the rest of him coming out of the ground and begins to slam Black Death onto the ground, over and over and over again. "What power have I bestowed upon you, boy? I didn't give it to you so you can show off. Use it on me. I dare you." Black Death closes his eyes and makes his legs split into 8. He then whips his whip inside it multiple times at Terror. Terror lets go of Black Death, still breathing roughly from the heavy blows. "Is this good enough? Is it?" Terror charges at Black Death, forcing him to block the fatal blow with his scythe. "It will never be enough for me." "I realize that. It will never be, but it's better than someone that envies you." "Which one? Evil Darkness? Or is it you?" Terror pushes Black Death back, ending their close combat, but he clearly isn't done yet. "You can do better than this, boy. Show me the true potential of the Black Death." Black Death throws his cloak onto the ground. His claw-shaped scar starts glowing, his right arm becoming monstrous. And Terror smiles wickedly, his eyes burning with satisfaction. "Is this better?" Tyon lunges at Terror with his monstrous arm, slashing uncontrollably. Terror is unable to escape the blows, but he still smiles sadistically. Tyon grins, and his arm stops moving, and it goes back to normal. "Was that better?" "Better. Much better, but not enough." "What do you want from me?" Terror places his hand on his head, laughing quietly to himself. "Well, what do you want from me?" "Tell me!" Tyon's scar glows again, and both of his arms become monstrous this time, his legs splitting into 8 and his cloak forming back on him. "Tell me!" "Is this what you want? A monster who has intelligence and can speak and can fight. Is this what I should be?" No. You have already shown me what I want." Terra's other hand is clenched into a fist, and it begins to tremble. "Are you okay?" "Whoever said I was in the first place?" "Okay, you're starting to creep me out a bit." "Ah, yes. I have the answer now. Even though you have shown me what I wanted." Terror uncovers his face, but his eyes are burning blue with white dots as pupils. "I just can't get enough!" Terror lunges at Black Death, slashing at his chest. "Ah, you little..." Tyon lunges at Terror and slashes him with his monstrous arm. Terror simply dodges the attack, as if it were nothing. "How did you dodge that?" Terror simply shrugs. He is drooling now, but he doesn't seem to notice. Tyon swings his scythe at Terror. Terror grabs the scythe in midair and tosses it away, out of Black Death's reach. He begins to close in on Tyon, moving his fingers about in anticipation. Tyon jumps away from Terror, but Terror only starts to move faster towards him. "You won't stop, will you?" Terror says nothing and continues to move forward with a twisted leer on his face. That's what I thought. Well, I think that I won't stop now. I think I'll keep going. Terror starts to move a little faster. Tyon goes faster now, starting to catch up to the speed Terror is going, but still not as fast. Terror is breathing roughly, his drool all over the bottom of his chin. He stares at Tyon, his eyes unmoving from their target. Eyes. You keep them on your target. Right. Tyon pulls out the notepad. Put me behind Terror. Surprise! Tyon kicks Terror in the back. Terror stops. He glances slightly behind him. Suddenly, another pair of arms sprouts from Terror's back and grabs Tyon by the neck. Ah! Let me go! Terror tosses Tyon to his main pair of arms in front of him. Terror's eyes are really burning now, the white dots staring into Tyon's very soul. Tyon picks up the notepad and he writes once again. Make Terror let me go. Nothing happens. Terror's smile only gets bigger, sensing Tyon's fear. What the? Suddenly, Swampwater comes in on the headsets. Boss, hey, snap out of it! Terror's eyes quickly change back to red, his smile vanishing from his face. He soon drops Tyon to the ground, not saying a word. Thanks, Swampwater. That helped. Anytime, Tyon. Or was it Black Death? Either will do. I'll call you Tyon then. Easier to say. Terror teleports away suddenly. Oh, great. He left me by myself. Great. Oh, great. Hold on. I'll come get you. He needs some time. All right. Swampwater flies in with the glassy winged moth, landing next to Tyon. Hop on. I'll explain what happened on the way. All right. Swampwater snaps the reins on the moth. As it takes off, Swampwater sighs. What happened out there? The half-mind must have gotten the best of him. Makes sense. How does it? I bet you have no idea who the half-mind is. I don't, but it seems whatever the half-mind is, it makes some sort of sense, and I don't know why. I'll tell you anyway. The half-mind is another conscience that lives in Terror's head. It is extremely morbid, insane, and power-thirsty. Huh. Weird. Suddenly, a beeping noise comes from Tyon's cloak. Oh, my old communication device. I forgot I had this. Tyon clicks the communication device. Tyon, where are you? Far away from you, Hornhead. I'm with Swampwater, and there's no way of you getting to me. You're not going to enjoy it when I eventually get to you and your new Demon Hog Master or whatever he is. That is Royal Demon Hog Master to you, you retarded devil. What did you call me? Why do I even bother? Huh, boom, Hornhead. Yeah, get out of here, you nut. Yeah, you tell him. I wish I could say all that stuff. Good choice, Tyon. You got a better boss now. The evil darkness? Nobody likes you. That's not true. Yes, it is. I'm hanging up. Boop. What a moron. I feel you there. Besides, nobody makes fun of my boss when I'm around. Yeah, I can tell. He means a lot to me, even though he does seem like a brute. Yeah, a lot of people seem like brutes, but aren't. I'm surprised that ED hasn't lost his army yet. I'm also surprised. He's more of a child than me when I started this darn villain job. I was made into this business. I started after my family left me behind, but now I just like being a villain. I'm not doing this to get revenge anymore. I'm just doing this because it feels right. Terra started out like that too. Hey, can I lend you a small secret? Yeah. Remember how Terror said he created life on his own? Yeah, I was writing it all down. Guess who that was? Who? Me, silly. What do you mean? When Terra was experimenting with shadow DNA, he created me and a few others. Huh, cool. Swampwater smiles proudly. If it weren't for Terra, none of us would be here, so I'm proud to be living. I wish I could feel proud to be alive. Living with Terra, you sure darn will be proud he hasn't taken it yet. The moth arrives in the stronghold and lands in front of Tyon's bedroom door. It's a pleasure talking with you, Tyon. Same to you, Swampwater. Rest well. Swampwater flies off with the moth, leaving Tyon alone in the hallway. Tyon goes into his room and falls asleep on the bed. And that concludes the Apprentice for now. That concludes the third act, I believe. But anyway, if you can't tell, I have a lot of fun writing this story because I don't know. I really have I don't know. I just really like to. All the pieces of the puzzle just seems to fit together really well. It's like I don't know. But don't if you want to see more of this content, then you can go onto my website and you can go ahead and follow it. But if you want to see more of the Yellow Viper's characters, which is Black Death, Evil Darkness, that Void character, if you want more of that, then you can go ahead and subscribe to the Yellow Viper, whose username is gone. You can't change it from Halloween. So, anyway, I guess if you want to see more of Terror, if you want to see more of Swampwater, or if you want to get into the lore of stuff, then hello, I'm right here. You can go ahead and subscribe to the channel and just tell me what you guys want to see, because I don't know what you guys want to see. I'm just going to keep on doing whatever the heck it is I do. And if, I don't know, I'm stalling again. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this. I hope you guys really liked it, because I sure darn did. And I will see you all in the next video. Gotta go fast. Bye.